Alright guys, welcome to episode 5 of our Pour It Out podcast. We're here at Hiker, aren't we, Phil?
We are here at Hiker, I can't believe 5. So
5.
That's one hand.
By the time you get back, it is one hand. By the time you get back from your Europe adventures, we'll be up to 9 or something like that.
Yeah, probably. So, I'll be back for the 10th anniversary.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Dan's dropped off a nice little sampler. I'll have a crack at that in a second. You're not well, mate.
No, picked up a bit of a cold, so just in time.
Just in time for going to Europe tomorrow.
Just in time for a long flight to Europe, so always great timing. But I'm prefer to be sick now than sick there, so but I don't
100%.
feel too bad. It's just it sounds worse than it actually is.
Yeah,
I'm standing 1.5 away from you.
I know.
So,
Just
so I don't want to give it. Next week it'll be.
Yeah, next week we're a little bit. I'm a little bit.
You'll be
grumbly
complaining that I made you sick. So
yeah, that's right.
I don't want that to happen.
No, don't want that to happen. No, that's good. Well, we'll talk about your Europe trip right at the end. We'll kick that out. I want to hear about that. I reckon it'll be a good thing to end on.
Yeah.
First things, thanks to our sponsors as always: Bintani, Craft Punks Canning, Convoy Keg, Rattlings Labels and Stickers, and of course,
Ackbar
Brewing Concern. Also, like our sponsors for you and I was Friday, Bintani and NZ Hops.
Yeah, so that was a good little get together. So yeah, Bintani put on a rub and sniff of the latest season's NZ Hops. So and sort of Sam from Bintani came up with Kiralee to go through the hop selection. So
I came up here as well, and
it was a good event except for cleaning the floor afterwards. So
yeah, there was hop flour everywhere, wasn't there?
It was a brothel. Anyway,
yeah.
but, no, it was good. We had a lot of breweries, a lot of brewers from different breweries here. So it was good to catch up with them and get to hear about the harvest and production and things like that. So and actually, also what I found interesting was, rubbing and sniffing, the same hop varieties, but early harvest versus mid-harvest and late harvest.
That was super interesting. Yeah. And I could see benefits to both as well, to both or to all three. But I found, for me, there was also like one of them, the experimentals of 105, I think, was
107.
My favourite. I don't think 107.
Oh yeah, maybe it's 105. Yeah.
But 105 was my favourite of them. I thought it just had a bit more complexity, I thought, and a little bit almost woody texture with some nice citrus they were all great hops. It was good to see them, like Mochueka and Nelson.
Yeah, they've got a really good core range of hops. So. It was a really informative session and
just drinking this nice little beer that Dan gave me. It's good.
But it was really informative. It was good to catch up with the guys from Bintani. So they've been big supporters of us since day dot.
Us too. So I love the guys. I reckon they're awesome. I'm going to try and change Joel's and my flights down to Avis and maybe go down a day earlier and go to the Bintani trade day down in Melbourne there. So got to chase Mitch up on that. He said he'd shout us accommodation. So
nice.
We'll see how we go. He's probably remembering it now, going, shit, how many beers did I have?
Yeah, exactly.
Wanted to update on the ABV Collab brew with the Brew Baron Beer Co. On the Ukrainian Golden Ale. So we've decided on a label sort of layout, and we've also decided on a date of when we're going to launch it, which is going to be at GABS.
Okay.
So it's going to be on their stand at GABS. So they've got a big stand at GABS this year, the Brew Baron Beer Co. So which is cool for us. But it's going to be, so what we decided was we didn't really want to let Joel have all the fun with the plane and whatnot, but he loves his plane, so we've managed to incorporate that into the beer name.
Okay.
So remember the world's biggest plane, the Antonov thing? That was a Ukrainian plane,
Okay.
right? So it was called Miria, I think that's how you pronounce it, but it actually means hopeful dream. So that's what we're going to call the beer.
Oh, nice.
Hopeful Dream.
Yeah.
Which I think is a cool name. Joel's going to design the decal. Going to have the big plane sort of spanning the entire decal. I'm not sure if it's going to go to can. It probably won't, unless craft punks are really nice. Can do a really nice favour for Matty. But yeah, that's where we're at with it. So Matty and I have been working on the recipe.
Yep.
And yeah, not sure when brew day is, but we're going to do a brew day, and it's going to be on a Saturday, so people can come along and just hang out for the day as well. So yeah, should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
At least it won't. If it rains, you can still do it.
That's right.
Unlike your basketball tournament
event
on Sunday.
Did not happen, unfortunately. We had to postpone it. So for those who didn't know, Ballistic burst Ether in a basketball competition on a 3-on-3, and we didn't formally invite him. We just called him out on social media, like, yeah, we're going to kick your ass. And unfortunately with the weather, it was just more safety. The court was quite slippery. The rain was affecting a lot of people from further out that couldn't get to the venue. So but there was still, 10 of us showed up, and we still had a 2-on-2 game, and a couple of subs, lots of beer, lots of good chat.
Yeah.
So it was fun. So
yeah, it's a good afternoon.
Yeah. Can't control the weather.
No, exactly.
Unfortunately.
But at least you're brewing inside for the
That's
Ukrainian.
right. Yeah. We'll brew inside.
So
yeah. Unless Matty makes us sit outside, which
does he get like, because he's a government employee? Does he get like penalty rates like on brewing on a Saturday?
No, because he's head brewer there, so we're brewing at the thing, so he'll be on salary. So no, he'll be doing us a favour.
Oh, it's all good. I just thought I'd check.
Yeah.
So what about the next one? So May the 4th's coming up. So
Star Wars Day.
Well, it's also Daniel's birthday.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to make sure I wish him a happy birthday on that day.
Yeah.
Not too distracted by good beers and events.
No.
So May 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. That's where it sort of comes from. And last year for Noisy Miner, we released Admiral Ackbar, which is cracking beer. It's an anti-imperial red IPA. If anyone knows Star Wars, whatnot, and knows Admiral Ackbar, he's of the anti-imperial movement. But anyway, we've got the anti-imperial red IPA, big 8.5, 8.2% beer, and so it's coming out again this year.
Yeah.
So
have you tasted it yet?
Yeah, I have. It's tasting excellent.
Oh, I
the
haven't
brewers
tasted
are
it yet,
good.
so
Yeah, the brewers are doing a good job. Yeah, I'm loving it.
That's good.
And I'll always love this beer anyway. So
nice.
anything that's big and red.
And I see that Cairns Beer Festival is sort of lining up with that.
Well, yeah, I was looking for Star Wars themed events in breweries, and I found that up in Cairns, they have a regular beer festival.
Yeah, I think it's in their 5th year.
Yeah, yeah, and I'd love to get up there for that. I reckon that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be cool. It'd be nice and warm.
Yeah, it's a nice time of year to go up there.
It'd be a great time of year to be up there.
So I think it's just all the local breweries up there. So it's good that they sort of get together and have a little bit of a festival. So
yeah,
I
still haven't been
important.
up to Cairns in ages and gone to breweries. But,
Yeah.
would love to get up there.
Yeah, same. Okay,
and I think the festival would be cool.
Yeah,
it'd be really good to go to. It's a good occasion to do it. It's a long weekend as well, because that's Labor Day weekend.
Oh, it is too.
So, so if you don't know that already, plan ahead. You've got a long weekend coming up. You've got a long weekend this weekend too, if you take the Friday off.
Yeah, which I am.
Yeah. That's right.
Having an extra long weekend.
There's a few people taking the Friday off and having a extra long weekend.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so I think it's good. I think those regional ones, I think even recently there was, Rocky and I think Gladstone and Bundy and Emerald. So they're starting to get into it. So, I think, we've seen a lot of, music events and things closed down, basically cancelled. So I think at least people are, I think regionally is where things are at.
Well, I was just going to ask that though, with the regional, I wonder if, what the festivals are like. Is a lot of the regional people coming in and drinking the big juicies and the double IPAs and all the weird flavours, or are they still just sticking to their lagers?
I think you'd have a fringe that, there's
always
home
that
brewers.
fringe,
I know a lot of home brewers in Rocky
Yep.
and things like that, so I know they'd be like they always come down for GABS and things like that. So they make the trip to the bigger ones. But I think it's just an excuse for an event up in Rocky and those sort of regional areas. So, and I think there's a few craft breweries there, but also there's a lot of the false indies, like Bolter and things like that go to those things, just from a marketing point of view, because they've obviously got the budget. We had a look at potentially, because I'm originally from Rockhampton, so I'd love to go back and pour my beers to a lot of my mates and stuff that are still up there, but just the cost involved, and it's not really our target market. So, we're not sending beer regionally, so it would be a cool thing to do, but you don't make money out of beer festivals. So
no, I think we got hit up as well to go to a Gladstone event later in the year. And it's the same, even though we've got a venue at Bundaberg. We don't service that region. There's breweries in Gladstone, there's breweries in Rocky.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Which is sad, but then you've got the bigger ones, like I know your mates was all up the coast because they're trying to get that regional presence. And that's good for their business strategy. So
another article that I found, mate, was the NOMAD brewing up for sale after 10 years. So we only talked about Modus last week.
So it was interesting. Like the thing that can't remember the owner's name, but he's having a midlife crisis and wants to join the army.
Yeah, I
saw at 50. I know. I'm going, hang on, you normally have a midlife crisis like I did and
go
build
the
a brewery.
other way. He's done it a different way.
But he's going in reverse. So I thought that was a bit mind-blowing.
It was a bit mind-blowing. I actually read it twice because I wasn't sure if I read that right too. But yeah, Nomad. Now, have you had many of them beers? It's not really a brewery that we see a lot of their beers up this way.
I think maybe one or two. I haven't. Yeah, we don't really see it here. So I think I may have had it at in Sydney once or twice. But
yeah, that's where I've had it when I've been down further.
Yeah, but that's a long time ago. Since I can't remember the last time I was in Sydney. So it's it's interesting, 10 years, like it's a long time, like, running a business, time. 10 years probably
mate,
since
you've
they
just
opened.
had your 1 year, like in 10 years time, like
I'll be retired.
Yep.
That's my plan.
Or Joe will be on the deck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the funny thing, it's 1 year since the doors open, but it's actually
not been 1 year in planning.
No, it's like, it was like nearly 2 years before that.
Yeah.
Like, so it's 1 year. Yeah, but it's really 3.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's like dog years.
That's exactly it.
But yeah, no, it's sad. I think the industry, it's pretty tough at the moment, and you've got to keep innovating. And I think some of those more longer standing brands,
it's a bit harder to do.
It's hard to do. Like once you're very established in your ways, and you just run out of puff.
Yeah.
So I wish them all the best, and I think they've still got like a tap room or something, or
I think they've got a number of locations.
Where the wife of the brewer is she's going to look after that while the brewer goes and joins the army.
Does the army stint? Yeah.
That blew me away.
It
was different. What about I see Craft Cartel have launched Brewery Direct, which is an interesting model, something that I've thought about for a while.
Well, it's sort of like a wholesale, like almost like not wholesale, but it's another person selling you beer. It's like a silent salesperson, really.
Yeah.
Selling your beer. And I had a quick look on there. There's only about 10 breweries on there at the moment.
Yep.
They want to expand it up to 350 by the end of the year or something like that. But I think it's a good
model, and I think it's as soon as I read it, I went and I said, why isn't the IBA doing something like that? So actually having a consolidated shop front of independent beer.
Yep.
So, as a, like supporting its members. And, it's a revenue stream for the IBA.
Yep.
So, and that's part of the incentive of doing it. So if they could really brand it right and actually get it out to market.
Would the Brewery Direct be something, like I know you guys are doing your beer hug thing, is that finished yet? Is it still...
we're still every other day we're sending more and more boxes out. So
like, is the Brewery Direct the sort of thing that you think you guys would do because it's on you? Like,
Yeah, I
It's in
think
here
it's
and
just
people can buy it. And
it's just a portal, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's not us doing a particular box. I had a look at it. You know, it's like if you want to buy Moffat Beach,
Yep.
you know,
Jump
you
on,
can
you
buy,
can buy them off
and,
the beach.
and it's basically it's a carton. That's all you can buy.
Yeah, you can,
It's a
and you can
carton.
select
You
which
can't-
beers
you don't do a 4
you
pack
put
or
on there. You
whatever.
don't have to have all your range on there.
No.
You can have 3 or 4.
I think it's good. So if
Yep.
you want to buy a carton of, you know,
Yeah.
bloody deadbeat boyfriends,
off
just
you
go and do it. And I think simpler is better. Not like I'm going to do a mixed 4 pack or anything like this or a mixed carton.
Yeah.
I think, you know, and that makes it easy for breweries. Okay, bang, like
Yeah, I did. One thing I did look at this morning was some of the breweries on there. You can just tell from looking the economic impact that has happened. Like some of their beers that they've got on there are being discounted from like $110 down to $75 a case and things like that. So it's just showing.
And I wonder what cut
You know?
Craft Cartel are taking. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't apply or anything. It's not my call to make for
Yeah.
our business, but yeah, just noticed that some of the beers have just been discounted heavily, and I'm not sure if that's all the time or some of the time. But the interesting thing is too, if you're a Craft Cartel member, you actually get a further discount as
yeah,
well.
I saw that.
So you don't even need to be a member to buy. You can just jump on and buy a one-off. Or you can be a member and get a healthier discount, which is quite a.
I think it's a good business model, and I think they've got my ideas brain ticking. I think it's something you potentially can explore. Like we always for us, we don't do a lot of wholesale to bottle shops.
Yep.
But
As is your plan.
and that's our business plan.
Yep.
But we do when we've got a bit of excess stock. And before the beer gets too old and deteriorates.
Yep.
So we do it there, but I'd love to be able to put it on a website and at a discounted rate and do it. So in a more holistic point of view, not selling old shitty beer, but but knowing this beer is not going. We're not selling enough to get it through after 3 months.
Yeah.
So, because we try and turn all our beer over within 3 months. So
Yeah, the quicker you sell, the fresher it is. The more you can brew more fresh beer.
yeah, exactly. And you're still cutting out largely the middleman. So even discounting, it's going to be cheaper. We're going to make more money than selling it to a bottle shop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So and it's getting fresh beer to the punters. So
Yep.
yeah. So no, it's interesting. I'm keen to see how that grows in regards to. The breweries, I think that, as I said, I think they've only got about 10 at the moment, so it's an evolving thing.
Definitely. I found this one. This is overseas article in the US, obviously, but it does apply to us here. Craft beer whales have been hunted to extinction. So craft beer whales are those beers that used to come out once a year, those big seasonal stouts or the sours or big IPA release or something where, we all heard it over here when someone bought out a new beer over there. There was, 500 bottles, and once they're gone, they're gone. They're limited to 2 per person sort of thing. Yeah. Lines down the street, lines around the corner. Range, a perfect example of it. They did it really well when they first kicked out.
That was a COVID effect though, really, don't you think?
I don't know that it was for Range. I think they had that anyway.
Yeah.
I know mates who were massive Range fans before COVID, but I just wonder if people have, because breweries are so much now, because the public want new stuff, and the breweries are trying to have their core range, which is the mainstay, because you need to have a core range. Everyone likes to come into their brewery and have the beer that they always have, but then you also need, it's that fine balance, right?
Yeah.
Of having those new release beers that come out all the time. Famously, it took Range 3 or 4 years to make any beer a core range.
Yeah.
Now they've got 2, I think.
Yeah, Disco and something else.
Yeah, so I don't think that the whales are extinct. I just think people's choices have just ballooned.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot more variety in the market. So but that's what I mean. Even in America, you got Piney the Elder. That's still, I know that's
still up there.
Still goes off.
Yep.
I know it's.
There'd be a few beers that I would line up for too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be one of them. So, but yeah.
Firestone Walker Parabola, I would be there Oh, love
Yeah.
that beer.
But yeah, it's
Liquid silk.
yeah. I think the market's maturing, so I think, and there's I think a lot of back in the day people just had a core range, but now and then like limited seasonals. I think seasonals becoming more like that's our strategy. Try and keep our core range as low as possible.
Yeah.
And then try and have more seasonals because that's what brings people in. So.
Yeah. Horizon's a core range, right?
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah, because I drink it.
Everyone
drinks it.
No, every beer we brew, it's like, oh, can you make that core range? It's like, okay, we'll put 60 million taps on. That's fine.
I reckon you could fit another 2 on there. Cloudscapes for 1, and
yeah, I know. We have got another space for another 2 taps.
Yeah.
So.
I've said that since you first put the taps up.
I know. It's an ongoing discussion. So
yeah.
But
watch this space.
Yeah.
Or 2 spaces.
Yeah. Who knows? I might come back with an amazing beer idea.
That's right.
From Europe. So the next on the list is Oregon Cascade and the making of IPA.
Yeah. So I found this article about how Oregon revolutionised the IPA beer. So this was way back when they were growing hops very early on, and all they wanted was high alpha acid for the bitterness. It wasn't anything to do with so much with the florals and the fragrances and things like that. And then the scientists, were doing all their things, breeding different things, and then they ended up with Cascade for the Cascade Mountains that they got over there. And really, like, I remember Cascade in IPAs when I first started drinking them. I love IPAs. They're like my favourite style. Big, bitter, West Coast IPAs.
Yeah,
just
totally.
Great. And I didn't even know what hops were. I remember I got told once, I had some bartender, and I fucking believed him when he said, he goes, yeah, they grow the hops on citrus fields, and that's where they get the citrus from. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know any different. Yeah, fair enough. Good story, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know how many people I've told that to.
Yeah.
Hopefully not many before I learned. But it's pretty symbolic that like one hop from one area can change so much of a beer style, and then now you see it with a lot of other things, right? Like everyone in the US uses Nelson from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Big hop, put them on the map. Galaxy from Australia, put it on the map.
And all the big C's from, Citra,
Chinook,
Columbus.
Cascade, Columbus,
Yeah, so all the big C's. So it's interesting. Yeah, and it's really, like to get a hop to market, it's like 14 years. It's crazy, hey?
Crazy amount of time. I think what's a little bit missing now is a little bit of that romantic of the hops. Like they were making the hops and they were breeding them, but there's sort of gone is that romance now. Now it's like so scientific.
Yeah.
They're there down at the molecular level, and they can tell whether it's a male, female. They've got progeny coming off. They can sort of tell what it's going to develop into.
And there could be some really ripper hops out there, but they don't have enough. They're not disease resistant.
Yep, the yield doesn't come up properly.
And it's like it's all agronomics at the moment.
Or the other one is that it's ready when another popular hop is ready. It grows it's ready to be picked at the same time as Citra, and like Citra at the moment is like pick it all when you can, as soon as you can.
Yeah.
And if this hop is out when the Citra picking season's on, and they don't have enough boots on the ground to pick this new hop.
Yeah, and that's where I love talking with Andrew from Hilltop Hops comes in quite regularly.
Yep.
We have a good chat, and I like that romance of the little hobby farmer.
Oh, so man, Joel and I loved that episode, and
I keep saying to him, like, you need to actually breed your hops. You might actually find something that's super unique.
Well, in our episode that we did with him, he's got that little farm out near Bow Desert as well. Yeah. That he reckons he's got a few of those like things that have just crossed and doesn't know what they're going to do, sort of thing, and he just grows them. And
I think a little bit of that magic is really exciting.
It still amazes me too that they keep finding hops out in the wild. that
Yeah.
have just been out in the wild, like all the Neo-Mexicana hops, and
Yep.
there's some hops that they found out in the wild over in WA. Like it seems to be like the hops are just grown and they get planted and left there. Like it'll be a hop farm or something where someone's growing hops and they leave it for like 25 years and just matures and does its own thing.
Yeah, that's what Andrew was saying. I think on the weekend he came in after the fresh hop event at Slipstream.
Yep.
And we're having a chat, and he goes, yeah, when he was over in the States, they just have, got all Mexican workers. There would be like Mexican workers driving in cars, spotting like male hop plants and ripping them out of the ground.
Yeah, right.
So they're just like, wherever they could find them, they just rip them out. So
yeah, right.
it's interesting. So they're obviously trying to make it very clinical, so they know what's breeding with what.
Yeah.
Those type of things. So, but
so much is in there that you and I in the industry take for granted. That also, there's these little micro industries that are so much.
What do you mean? We just turn up and there's a box of pallets.
And this beer comes out a wall and off we go.
Exactly. That's how it works, isn't it?
100%. Well, it works for me.
Yeah. One of the things that I came across was the 330-300 rule. Have you ever heard of?
I have heard of this rule. I was glad that you've put down here the.
I converted
put
to
in
Fahrenheit.
the converted from Fahrenheit because I was like going, oh shit, Fahrenheit, and I didn't have time to convert it in my.
So I put it in the show notes. So
yes,
I did my little bit for the day.
Yeah, no, it and that makes sense too because I have heard of the 330 and 300. Because it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
We all know the colder you keep your beer, temperature and oxygen and time are the three big factors on your beer, that can really have a massive impact. And what can we control out of those? We can't control time unless you drink it within that space, but we should be able to control temperature. And, it's why a lot of people, I think, don't get... if they buy beer from like Dan Murphy's or First Choice or something like that, these big box retailers that have your beer sitting out in ambient temperature, like we all were pretty hard up against it. At one point we were all, no, beer has to be kept cold, don't buy any of the floor stock, blah, blah, blah. We all knew craft beer had to be kept cold. And then it just sort of turned into, if that's what the bottle shop does, that's what the bottle shop does. And we've just had to deal with complaints about our beer aging out quick.
Yeah, so it's interesting, the degradation, just for those that don't know the 330-300 rule.
Brad from Rallings.
What's that? He doesn't know it?
No, just I give him a shout out on new things that we call out.
Oh, yeah.
Because he always says you never explain things.
Okay.
So, yep.
Okay. So basically a beer, that's 3 days at 30 degrees temperature, degrades the same amount as a beer for 30 days at 22 degrees temperature versus a beer that's 300 days old at 3 degrees temperature.
That's right.
So Queensland climate, 32, not that hard to get to 32 in summer.
I reckon 32 was a couple of weeks ago. It's certainly not a temperature that we don't see often. It's something that we always pretty much have. Probably I would say more often than we have cooler temperatures, like under 30 up here, and especially in further north you go, their minimums are like 24, 25. So I think it's just to show you, keep your beer cold, look after it,
and buy local.
Buy local.
Because it's really
you travel miles of temperatures.
Well, if you go to Dan Murphy's or First Choice, the beer's travelled. Whereas if you just go to your local brewery and pick it up, I'm surprised how many people come in here and go, is it cold? Have you got a warm carton?
Yeah. Why would you ask for a warm carton?
That's what I keep saying.
Unless they've got no fridge space and they keep the case beside the fridge, which also is one of the worst spots to keep it. Yeah. Because the fridge is running and the motor and the compressor is usually down the bottom and it's hot. You put your hand on the side of your fridge, it's hot.
But I found it fascinating. Yeah, so for me, it's like, and even like we spoke about craft Cartel and stuff like that.
Yep.
Even buying beer online, sending it through the post.
Yep.
It's nothing's refrigerated. So.
No, and that's where as soon as you get it, put it back in the fridge.
Yep.
Get it cool, get it going. I mean, it makes sense because That's just how beer wants to be treated. Unless you want to, cheers,
Treat it
Dan.
like milk.
Yeah, treat it like milk. That's the exact thing.
Right.
Everyone, hey, Dan, this is Dan Venemer. We need to introduce him because he's going to be here next week chatting to the crowd.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he said he was going to be stepping up. So how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. How is everyone?
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks for the beers.
No problem.
Again?
Anytime.
Yeah, we just gave you a little wave. Actually, we didn't. You just came over and
Yeah, I just noticed you're empty.
cleared our glasses and bought us some new beers.
Yeah. No, as long as we're not on video next week, I'm happy.
We're not on
But
video,
I know
mate.
you're
No,
not.
we get one photo. And
So
then
what's
we're
your
good.
favourite Star Wars beer, seeing it's your birthday?
My favourite Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't had heaps, to be honest. Millennium Falcon from Holgate. It's pretty bloody
Oh,
good.
yeah. Yep.
But I think Ackbar is my favourite.
Yeah. Good beer.
I
Back when I
hear
was-
this batch is going really well. It's been brewed by a gun team.
No issues so far, so
Yeah. No, it's tasting good, I reckon.
yeah.
Yeah, can't wait for it to come out and everyone to taste it.
Yeah. No, back when I first got into craft beer, like 2015, I was new to Brisbane as well. That was one of the first beers I had from craft at Red Hill. Really
Yeah.
good, really good.
Excellent.
Love a red. All right, have fun.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
He likes me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Glad someone
because
does.
I'm a ranger and he said I love a red.
So I'm back on the beer chicken.
The beer can chicken trail.
So I've tracked down, is beer can chicken safe for children to eat?
Yeah, so while you're away, I reckon that we need to, I'm going to suss out a beer can chicken barbecue.
Yep.
And so when you come back, we can make some beer can chickens.
I'm definitely keen.
Yeah.
I think you can buy them from barbecues galore.
100%. Yeah, I'm going to buy one. Yeah, I'm not afraid.
I might have to buy 2 or 3 and then do you have to do them sepaletely in
I
separate
think we
things?
just buy one. We'll just do one each week and we can review a chicken.
Yeah.
We'll just drink the beer that we brewed the chicken.
So have you got any suggestions of what beers
I'm happy with you. Save one of your Adam beer cans.
I definitely do an Adam beer, so that's my pick.
Yeah. I think one of the reds, like the Ornith, or even your Real,
Yeah, I reckon.
will be nice.
Yeah.
But actually, do you know what? Actually, I did think of yesterday. I don't know why I was thinking of it. I actually think of more beer chicken since you've mentioned it now than ever. But I was looking at your list yesterday. The lemon myrtle goza.
Yeah.
I reckon that lemon myrtle
Oh, that could be all right.
will just go
And
amazing in
yeah.
a chicken.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember
Yeah,
your
cool.
pistachio stout?
that
I
would've been
reckon that
good.
would be all right too.
Yeah. Have to brew that again.
Yeah,
So many
definitely.
people want that beer.
Yeah, Dan doesn't, but that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't particularly want it either.
Brewer the customers want, not what you want to
Yeah,
drink.
but it's freaking a lot of pistachios.
Yeah, pistachios are cheap. What are you talking about?
The cogs of that beer was like ridiculous.
Do you get pistachio powder, or did you buy pistachios and blend them or something?
No, it was pistachio. Yeah, it was a liquid form.
Yeah,
but it's
okay.
pretty exy.
Yeah.
And we had to double dose it there.
Yeah, yeah. Back to your topic though, you put this in there for is barbecue beer can chicken safe for kids to eat?
Yep. And yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah, I could have told you that. Anyone who works in a kitchen or who enjoys cooking and cooks with red wine or anything pretty much knows the amount of alcohol that's left is minimal. It'd be no more than drinking a lemon lime bitters, and that's got alcohol in it. For those who don't know, if you get a lemon lime bitters, that bitters bottle is 44% booze.
Yeah.
That has its own effect. Actually, incidentally, I was cooking a Greek dessert over the weekend, and I needed some vanilla essence.
Yep.
I went into Coles and Woolworths. Some of those bottles are 20% ABV,
Yeah.
and it's got 2 shots worth
Yeah.
in this thing at 20% for like $8.
Yeah.
So if you can deal with the full-on potency of sweet vanilla, and you're hard up, like if all the bars are closed but Woolies is open, vanilla
Head
essence.
to Woolies Airport.
Vanilla essence is your friend.
The Woolies Airport that's open
Oh, yeah,
365 days a day.
that's right, yeah,
so
yeah.
on Good Friday, if you're
If you're
desperate.
real hard up. But yeah, so the alcohol that comes out from that can, because alcohol the whole way. So for those who don't know, the way you distill spirits and the way that it works so easily is because alcohol vaporizes at a much lower temperature than water, steam, and a bunch of other components. So the alcohol, the way they make spirits is that they boil whatever the mash is that they've fermented, and the alcohol is one of the first things to come off because it boils off and turns to vapor at a lower temperature, which can be any sort of temperature range, but that's what's going to happen in your oven. The alcohol's going to go, the flavour of the beers and all of those sort of things will come out afterwards. So yeah, I totally agree with your marketing. Yeah. It's not going to harm it. No. Again, for some people in that article, which will be in the show notes, but yeah, in that article, it does say, look, some people are recovering from either medical procedures or even alcoholics, don't want to have that thing. Some religious things don't want to have that. You can use Coke, you can use lemon squash, you can use a bunch of stuff. Not sure how that would go. I know I use Coke in some ribs. I cook some barbecue ribs. Coke is great for that. But yeah, you can use something else, and you don't even need to use elsewhere. You can go to Bunnings and buy a stand-up chicken thing, and you don't even need to put a can in it. You just cook it, and it actually will cook quicker. You need to be, for those who've never done this, you need to be aware that chicken will cook quicker because the internals of the chicken are open also to that direct heat. So it's cooking not only from the outside in, but also inside out. So be aware of that temperature range as well. Cooking advice from Adsy.
That's the cooking. That's the cooking.
That's my fact of the day. Fact for Phil.
Yeah. And leading into my trip to Europe, I saw on the news a Belgian man whose body makes its own alcohol clear to drink driving. So
this isn't the first story that I've heard of this. What I did find funny in this is that he works in a brewery. Which was, I was like, oh, that poor dude, he's like up against it. People are like, come on, dude, really? But yeah, this is not the first time I've heard this. I think I actually went back, I looked on this and I typed in what it is. It's ABS, it's called. And I actually did a little bit of research and I looked back, and 2013 was the first sort of case that I could find about this ABS that they found. Do you know how they can... Here's another fact for Phil. Do you know how...
Phil's fun facts.
Do you know why... No, not why. Do you know how they actually can cure it? Do you know how they can fix it?
No. Alcoholics Anonymous?
No, because it's not your fault. Your body's producing it just from carbohydrates, right? Yeah. Feces. A feces transplant. So I don't know if you've ever heard that you can do feces transplant. So the reason the alcohol comes is because it's the microflora that's in your gut, all the bacteria, obviously, is fermenting these beers. And the way that they do that is by transferring feces from a healthy person into the person that has this issue to cure it. And it's been on science, like I found all these articles. If you really want to go on your own little Google wormhole and find it, but I actually went down a wormhole of like, how do they get the feces in there? And it's not shit. It's not like they're going eat some shit. No, so it all gets clean. They get the right microflora, but then they can do a number of things with it, right? So they can either, when you've got almost like an endoscopy, and they have a tube all the way down your throat, and they put it into your gut intestinal tract. Imagine people listening to this going, it's not supposed to be about beer. What the fuck's going on? But I read this. The other one is they can put it in one of those tablets, like a gel tablet, tablet, and you swallow it yourself and it'll work itself out. I'd be worried about that because there's been a couple of times I reckon I've had Panadol or something in my mouth longer than it should be, and I just haven't been able to swallow it. Like it's got stuck to the side of my mouth or something. And I'm trying to get it down.
You're talking shit again.
That's right. Imagine your breath after that. Oh yeah. So, but anyway, that's how they can cure it. And so yeah, I did find this article quite funny. I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of this. Why is Phil putting it in there? But then I saw he works in a brewery. I thought, oh man, that's 100%.
Yeah, I've got that. No, I walk home, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like but they don't experience intoxication. So
no, some of them do, but not all of them. Yeah, that's what they said. And I think what they actually do suffer from, majority of these people, and it's pretty rare, is liver damage. because your body is constantly processing alcohol. And so, it's like anything, right? The more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. And if their body's producing alcohol all the time, they don't actually know that they just think that they're tired, perpetually tired, feeling shit. They wake up in the morning, don't know what's going on. I thought it was super interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. So thank you, Professor Adsy,
You're welcome.
On those medical diagnoses.
Eat shit.
Yeah, swallow quickly.
Oh dear. Now, before this turns into a human centipede episode, Phil in Europe. What's going on, Phil?
Well,
tomorrow you're flying out and you're going to meet your partner, Jamie. Where are you meeting her? Where are you going? What are you doing? How long are you going for? I know you're doing a beer marathon thing. So
I'm doing a lot of things. So fly out tomorrow night. So that's 24th. To Munich via Dubai, which hopefully is not flooding. Now. It was flooding about a week ago, but
it was.
It's all sunny now. So get there and then straight off the plane and get my Lederhausen.
No, nice.
So that's the first shopping thing because we're going to Springfest.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So Springfest's on at the moment. So obviously not as big as Oktoberfest, but it's the spring version. So I'm taking my daughter, my oldest daughter with me, my favourite eldest daughter, who listens to this podcast.
Does she listen?
She listens intently.
Right. It's because we told her that we mention her. That's why
exactly.
She listens,
so I'll probably try and mention it every time. And then, so we're spending a few days in Munich. So that'll be good to check out the beer scene there.
Yep.
And then I'm heading on a train to Pilsen.
Nice.
Because
what happens in Pilsen?
They make Pilsner. Funny that.
Isn't that?
Yeah, so it's my absolute favourite beer style. So we're spending only a day there, because then we're off hiking in Czechoslovakia for about a week, and then
is it still Czechoslovakia or is it?
Oh, what is it called?
Czech Republic.
Know.
I don't know. I just
bad.
remember that joke when you were a kid that was like Czechoslovakia, spell it, and people will go CZ.
It's the Czech Republic, I think it is. Yeah. So then after that we fly to Belgium. So where I stupidly was going to run a marathon.
Yep.
But have tapered that back to 17 Ks.
Yep. So what's your marathon? Where does it
start? It's called the Great Breweries Marathon. So I actually physically run through three breweries.
Yep.
And you can have a beer at each.
Are you going to?
Because I'm only doing the 17 Ks, I only get to do two of them. Phile and Palm, I think. Yep. So we missed Cornet. I think we missed that one, which is unfortunate. But my training, running a brewery, doing a lot of
recommended training with your drinking arm.
Yep. Yeah, with my drinking arm. So that should be fun. So and then we're going to spend a bit of time in the Flanders region. So I already organised a few brewery tours and things like that.
Oh, nice.
So I really want to get to understand a bit more about Flanders Red.
Yeah.
So that should be cool. And then we jet off to Copenhagen, where we're going to Mikkeller Beer Celebration.
Nice.
Which is, I think there's like 60 odd breweries from all over the world.
Yep.
A lot from America, a lot from Scandinavia and UK, and even one from Ukraine. And I did send them a cheeky message about 6 months ago going, I see you haven't got an Australian brewery. More trying to get some tickets.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Imagine if they said, we'll take a pallet.
Shit.
Yeah.
So there's a pretty epic lineup there. So I'm really looking forward to that. So it's funny, this whole trip came about because Joe's mum is Danish, so she wanted to go to Denmark.
Right, okay.
And we were supposed to go to Ireland in 2020.
Yep.
And obviously that never happened. So anyway, I said, you want to go? I'll check with your mother, make sure it's okay, I'll take you. I went, okay, beer in Denmark. And then it was like,
holiday.
Bang, it was like Mikkeller Beer Celebration. I definitely want to do that. And then it's like, okay, what else beer events in Europe.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Great Breweries Marathon. Oh, that was the week before.
Oh, yeah.
And then Springfest. And then I thought, I'll do a bit of a side trip.
Yeah.
Go to Pilsen and stuff like that. So yeah, actually, Joe keeps saying to me, it's not a beer.
It's a beer holiday.
But it sort of is.
Yeah, no,
but
100%
she's
is.
starting to love beer, so which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So.
I reckon she's going to be more jealous because when are you guys separating for a bit? She's going to Paris and that, isn't
she's
she?
going to, when we go to the Czech Republic, she's doing Italy and France.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, they got breweries there.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I couldn't do 3 weeks with her.
Yeah, yeah.
I live with her, so we need a break.
That's exactly right. And can we follow your progress at all, or are you keeping it all?
I know, I'll probably put it on Insta, I suppose,
Nice.
but I'll have to unleash my Insta because I think I've got it
Oh, you got it locked.
locked. But I'll unlock it.
yeah.
I'll unlock
Ooh.
it so you can follow me.
What's your at?
At Phil Sharp 08. So that's a bit boring, isn't it?
No, that's all right. You can always start a new one.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Actually, I might do that.
Yeah.
So
Phil on tour.
yeah,
Phil's facts.
Filthy Phil's drinking tour.
No, let's not do that. No.
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Phil, take a hike. I should see if that's available.
You should see if that's available.
Yeah,
I
we
bet
should.
you $100 it's not.
Oh yeah, Phil
Yeah.
takes a hike maybe.
Phil takes a hike will be available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll keep you posted. I'll organise that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll put it in the show notes if you create it.
Yep.
So nice. Awesome, man. Oh well, probably won't see you tomorrow. I know you're coming up in here to work, but I won't have time to drop up.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'm just going to work till like midday, and then I better go and pack my bag.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything.
Safe
so-
trip.
Thanks, mate.
Come back. And
Yeah, I'll come back with lots of stories.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Lots of hopefully beer hats.
Actually,
for
I
you.
will actually come in tomorrow morning and I'll see you because I've got a beer hat for Jamie.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I got a beer hat for Jamie. So I thought, I forgot to bring it today.
No, it's fine. So yeah. So I'll be
Yeah.
here till about midday, and then I'm going to chuff off home, and
Sounds good.
you know.
I know where you live anyway. I'll just drive around and
Yeah, I'm only around the
Yeah.
corner.
too easy.
Cool.
Awesome, mate. Safe trip.
Thanks,
Have a good
mate.
one.
Yeah, and talk to everyone when I get back.
Yep.
So in a few weeks.
Awesome. I'll pour it out.
Yeah, take a hike.